Welcome back, guys, to It's Not Daddy, It's Papa. We're here today in.
Are we? Are we really here today?
No, this is AI generated. We are AI generated.
Everyone's AI generated.
Everyone's AI. Who is not AI generated?
I can't think of a single person in my life that's not AI generated.
Yeah. Are we living in a simulation?
I feel like I have conversations with you, they feel real. Other times I'm just
Sometimes.
most of the sometimes
Most
you're
of the time.
sometimes you're AI.
Sometimes they're fake.
Sometimes you're AI as hell. Other times I feel like I'm screaming into the void when I talk to most people. Because
Which
they're
is what we're currently doing now.
screaming into the fucking void. Nikita's okay. I decided I talk too much. Nikita also decided I talk too much.
That's
He didn't say it to me, but I sensed that he decided I talk too much. I'm doing it
that
right
is
now and I
not
can't stop. So
that is not what happened. Last time we sat down to record, we both said that we would bring topics to the table, and I don't think I got to bring my topic to the table.
because I talk too much. That's some self-awareness working there. So because I've decided I talk too much, Nikita's bringing topics to the table today, which means that this episode is going to be fundamentally more interesting than most of the topics you've seen. Because most of the time, it's just me screaming into the void. Today, we're going to try to not look at the void so deeply, and we're going to let Nikita
We're
bring
gonna
some things
open
to the
up the
table.
void. We're gonna open up the void. I was gonna start with asking you a question, but I know
No,
the
no.
answer to this question
Let's
now.
hear it. Let's hear it.
You've never seen the movie The Social Network, have
I've
you?
never seen that. You asked me that on the last episode.
No, I didn't. That was
That
one
was
of
in
the
real life.
we recorded.
Reminds me of this meme I saw. We should sit down and get like snacks and shit and have an IRL podcast. I feel like,
That's
and
us
then
before.
the tweet is, isn't that just called hanging out?
Oh,
An IRL
yeah,
podcast is just called hanging out.
yeah.
But anyway, I digress
No,
for
so I
once.
did ask you this because we tried to record this episode last week and then failed. So we're trying again. So I know the answer is that you haven't watched Social Network, and I'm going to tell you the same thing I told you last time we recorded this because life is AI generated, and we're repeating the same conversation that we had last week. You should watch it because it has a bunch of great stuff. It's written by Aaron Sorkin, and he makes great films.
Aaron
But
Sorka what?
Aaron Sorkin,
Aaron Sorka what? Aaron Sorka.
a big part of that movie is social media. And I want to ask this question that leads into a lot of other stuff. Why are you laughing?
No, just
I want to know.
no,
I
because
want to
you
know.
said social media and I thought of my screen time. I'll share it.
This is part of the
Oh, that's why
question.
I'm not gonna say it. I want to hear your
Okay.
question first.
My question was like this long overarching one because we're going to talk into tangents about it. But it's like, is social media a net good for society?
Um, no, no,
Hmm.
it's not.
Okay. Why?
It's
Elaborate.
just fucking not, bro. Hinge. Hinge is cooked. All right, Hinge is absolutely cooked.
Uh-huh.
Um, Social media sucks because you become dependent on it. Um, Also
Hmm.
for social needs,
Yeah.
I guess that's why it's called social media. But if you think about things like Hinge or like actual social networking,
Hmm.
whereas like YouTube's not really that social, but it's
Yeah.
still a social media.
It's a social media
But if
platform.
you think of like really social media like Hinge,
Yeah.
Hinge is cracked. For anyone who's tried
Okay.
it, it's cracked. The game is cracked. It's horrible.
Is
Um,
that a problem with Hinge or is that a problem with
no,
just like dating in general?
okay. It's an overarching like issue of people don't know how to. I sound like old man yells at cloud type tinfoil hat vibe, but people don't know how to like talk about shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
how many people have you met where you try to have a conversation with them and they're like, you know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
just dumb as fuck. Uh, oh, I don't know if that's social media's fault, but I think you can go to social
Hmm.
media to solve the problem.
Yeah.
I think there's a loneliness epidemic in the world amongst young people. There is. I just
Hmm.
wrote like a paper on that. And I think you can go to social media to like solve the problem. And then I think the more you go to social media to solve the problem, the more you worsen the problem. So I, with 7 hours of screen
Hmm.
time, can confident can a day can confidently say it sucks. It's a
Yeah.
problem. It actually is a
Uh-huh.
problem.
I do agree with you, but I'm just gonna play devil's advocate just for like
Yeah, no,
shits and
sure.
giggles. But like social media has made everyone more connected, no matter what, right? Like you wouldn't know as many people as you knew without social media. You wouldn't know about as many things
Hmm.
as you do without social media.
Yeah.
Like as much as like I think it's not the most helpful, but like you scroll on TikTok and you send me these TikToks all the time. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
No? Okay. It'll be this TikTok. It'll be like some random clip. And then about 3 seconds into the clip, it switches to like a family in Gaza or whatever, right?
We can't talk about that. No.
No, but like this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's like you are now more aware of issues like this. You know, you are
And
now
I
more
send them to you so that you could be aware, so that at least your scrolling is semi-productive.
you know, and now like we're all more connected. You know about more things. Like the one bitch on like Instagram that shows everyone and their mother reposts his like TikTok carousels of like issues. It's like the blue background and like the red. Seems like Matt
I have no
Civican.
idea what you're talking
I'll
about.
pull it up. But what do you think?
About this,
What do
about
you
the
think
fact,
about what I
oh, that,
just
oh
said
shit, yeah, yeah, that
about the
we're more
ramblings
connected.
I just went on about?
Okay, I mean, I think we're
While I
more
pull
connected in terms of like we know more people because of social media,
uh-huh.
but I don't know if those connections are as genuine.
Okay.
They're not. They're just not. Also, I mean, think about it. I think there's less incentive to go out and do what's good for you because of social media. Like, think about it. Men used to have to go out and like do shit
This
to
guy. That's what I'm talking about. No, no, no. Have you seen these graphics?
somewhere. Oh, I've seen these all the time.
Yeah, so
We're
it's like this one guy who makes them all the time.
all right. We're gonna put a picture of that
I'm gonna put
right
it's
there.
Matt XIV on Instagram. Matt Bernstein, friendly queer Jew with long nails.
Okay, that sounds great. I love that.
Awesome. He makes good content. But
Oh,
like,
I love that for him.
you know, this is what I'm talking about. Like I feel like I agree with the fact it sucks, but are we
It
now more
depends on how
connected
it's
and know
used.
more?
Well, yeah, more connected, and we do know more. But what was I saying? I was saying, okay,
I
yeah,
feel like
there's
the
less.
connection's not real.
The connection's not real, and there's less incentive to do what's good for you because if you think about it, you can go on Hinge. Think about prehistoric men. They have never seen that many baddies in their life,
Mhm.
for lack of like a more professional way of saying it. They have never,
For lack of professionality,
for lack of any
baddies.
professionalism at all, they have never seen more baddies in their life than they've seen on Hinge.
Okay.
It fries your brain. Like, I don't know. Like
Is it
cavemen,
like too much dopamine? Is that what it
it's too
is?
much dopamine, but it's also back to screaming into the void. Like, yes, you matched with this girl, or if you're, you're whatever the hell. Yes, you matched with your whoever you want to match with.
Appropriation of gay culture.
Oh,
Strike
not
17. We
again.
got a strike counter over here. Appropriation of gay culture by Mateo.
Not again. Okay. Like, hey, people. Okay. The Shawn Mendes impression is back, and our screen is frozen.
Damn, why does this keep happening?
But it goes back to
Uh,
that I
oh,
referenced the
we're
meme
back.
that maybe we could attach or show or whatever. But there's a meme, yo, bro, and I just said it, but I'm gonna reiterate. We should sit down around a table and get snacks and shit and have an IRL podcast. And then the response, the tweet back was, that's just called hanging out. Like we get so I don't know if that's picking up on camera, but there's a weird ass duck quacking in the background
It's
right now.
not a duck. I think that's
It's a
just a
heater. It's a
radiator.
heater for those of you who want to be annoying about that. But
Mateo before said it sounded like Mountain Dew. He meant to say Mount
I
Doom,
meant to say
but
Mount Doom. It's not that I slur my speech. For those of you
he
who
doesn't use slurs.
I don't know. I don't, but I mean like slur your speech is in like neurological disorder, stroke type beat. Like it's not that I slur my speech, but I think I talk so quickly, not even quickly, just so unintentional. There's no intentionality in my speech that the words start to blur. So
Yeah.
if I ever send a voice memo, it's and then this
We be
happens.
sending voice memos to each other and not even listening back to them.
Do you not listen to mine?
I listen to yours, but I don't listen back to my own to know what it sounds
Oh
like.
yeah, and then
And I'll
sometimes I
send it to
text them and
you.
I'm like, what did you just say to me, bro? I
Yeah,
didn't even
and then I'll
hear
be like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna listen back and remember. I wish I
it. Yeah.
sent you a completely different voice memo.
Just like
Voice memos
sorry.
are like the best thing humanity has created.
Huge voice memo fan. Huge support. Oh, Hinge. Hinge is so cracked to the point where I don't know. It's overstimulation. There's too many people on that app.
Hmm.
I'm gonna tell a story. I deleted Hinge. No, I had Hinge, matched with a girl, deleted it, re-downloaded it, matched with the same girl, got her phone number again to get off of that app, only to realize that I had already had her phone number, and our relationship went to the same demise, which was like a mutual ghosting.
That's so bad. Maybe
And it
it's
happened twice with the
yeah.
same person. Like I've had a fizzling out, a Hinge situationship that died with the same person twice,
Hmm.
different times having the app, and it ended the same way. There's clearly a fundamental like part of it is also why was I on Hinge? I don't have Hinge anymore, but why was I on Hinge? Why do people go to social media to solve their problems? Because we're so dependent on it that you You know what I mean?
You think your
If you
life will
can't
be
beat them,
better
you might
without it?
without social media, no.
Without no?
Because it's like if you can't beat them, join them.
You
It's
th
about playing into a game that
so overall, is it a net positive or a net negative?
if it didn't
You see
ex
what's really complicated? Because
well,
now if you remove its
I
existence
don't think anything is fully positive or fully negative.
no, it's not fully. It's just like, is has it done more good than bad? It's like a net thing, you know? It's
Well,
n
people
like,
got on without it.
but where like, what's the
Name 3
quality
of
of
the smartest people who have ever lived. Let's just do it right now.
I don't know, they're probably all before social media.
Yeah, that's the point I wanna make. Like, I
Yeah,
the best writers, the best
but then here's the other thing, because you mentioned this, is that are we only calling them great because they aren't present? In 100 years, will we not find people that are currently alive
I guess that
that we
it goes back to our
like,
James Dean thing.
it goes back to that what we were talking about in episode, like, 2, maybe 3?
Episode 9.
Yeah, and, like, just listen back to it, where we're talking about, like, impermanence.
Yeah.
Like, is the fact that these people are gone what makes them great?
I mean, that could be it. The great like, and I was going on about the great situationships of the past and, how atrociously mid those relationships were. Um, but you just haven't your brain hasn't
Mhm.
caught up to what does it wanna
Yeah.
deify. So I guess, yeah.
Are we currently not living in the best time in humanity to live in,
I mean, we are.
you know?
I guess we are. In a way, I do like doom scrolling on TikTok for 7 hours a day.
Yeah. Like, you don't have to worry about, like, a lot of things that people even
Mm,
25 years ago had to worry
I
about, you
just
know?
changed my Bitmoji. It's got pink,
Yeah, he wanted to make his Bitmoji look cute.
if we could get a picture of this too.
Well, how are okay, just
We're gonna get
okay.
that done. Pink, earmuffs, ear warmers, a baggy pink t-shirt, baggy jeans, and it has rabbit, what do you call that?
Rabbit slippers?
Pink bunny slippers, okay?
Slippers.
I don't know any other time period that a man could do that. Like, I live in a world where men used to fight in wars, and now my Bitmoji has pink bunny slippers. Like, I
Like,
don't know.
you probably would have been hanged
I
for
would
the
have been, like,
executed
lynched. Can I
guillotine.
say that? I would have been lynched. Well,
That's like an act of terrorism,
is that
lynching.
I don't know.
Lynching is an act of terrorism, yes.
Isn't it hanging also?
Hanging is that's what lynching is.
No,
Lynch
well, lynching also is a
lynching is a purposeful, like,
can we
I
talk about I
will
don't think we could talk about
run
lynching.
into your house, like, grab you and hang you. That's lynching.
Not to, like, say anything crazy here, but I just feel like it's a good thing that the witch trials didn't happen now. So many people would just
Everyone we know
nominate
would have
everyone
been
they don't fuck with. I would have been done by now.
everyone that we know would have been
I would have been
like
done. Somebody would have put me up for trial and said I was a
like
witch.
yeah,
I
we
think
would
we
burned you at
know
the
literal
stake. They're coming for you. It was perfect timing. And for whoever didn't hear a door slam behind us and
but yeah, no, that's very interesting with social media. Was there any other question or thing you had written down that you wanted to
about
bring
social media
to me?
specifically.
No,
No, I was the other
topics.
thing is that me and you both like to read. And I wanted to ask you this because I used to be very much into them. And then I kind of stopped being into them for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then now I'm trying to get back into them, but they're just so expensive. So I'm like, it's not worth it. But they were a
Mm.
lot less expensive when I was a very active consumer of them. But audiobooks, are they real reading?
Audiobooks are real reading.
You think so?
Yeah,
I feel like every
they
time
are.
I listen to an audiobook, I comprehend the material better.
Mhm.
But I don't actually read it. So it's like my reading, the level of like reading skill hasn't gone up.
Well, I don't think that reading is about the physical skill of reading. I think it's about like if you start I used to not see books this way until I started going to college for English. Like I didn't see it this way. It's about your arsenal of what you've read. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if it's about the actual reading skill or as much as knowing the stories. You know what I mean? Like when I think back on any like good book, you should know who Fitzgerald is. You know what I mean? Like you
Mhm.
should know who these authors are and what they're talking about if you care about reading. And I'm starting to realize it's more about just soaking in the content as opposed to like how you soak in the content.
Mhm.
And I was reading Wuthering Heights recently, and it's just so fucking.
That's a good book to read on an audiobook.
I hit up the audiobook.
Yeah.
I couldn't even read the whole thing. I was like, okay, so I'm not done with it, but I decided to hit an audiobook instead because it's like
Hmm.
you have your two families,
Yeah.
you have Heathcliff, you have what the fuck is her name? Catherine,
Yes.
and it's just like too much for me to comprehend.
Hmm.
Not that I'm dumb, but I'm just like
It's
it's
also
just
written, the way it's
it's
written
like too
lends
much.
itself to, it's written with an accent.
Yeah.
So it lends itself to an audiobook. My thing is that I feel like I spend more time actually reading. Well, I spend more time like with the characters and the story when I'm having a physical book. Your phone's ringing. What's that? My phone. Oh, that is an alarm I set. Did I accidentally set an alarm for our podcast time? I don't know. Okay then. My bad. My bad, gang. I feel like I spend more time with the characters when I'm reading a physical book. It takes me longer to read a physical book than it does me to listen to
Yeah,
an
which is a good
audiobook.
thing in a sense, but
So I spend more time with the characters and therefore also not only hone my skill of actually reading, which is a hard skill, like it's not easy.
no, but it's
Um,
important.
it's important. It's not easy. You need to read more to be able to read harder text, but I also soak in the story more because I spend more time with it, you
Yeah.
know? So I don't know. What do you think?
No, I'm still in support of audiobooks.
You still in support?
Still in support. I think it depends on the book. I think it also depends on what you want to get out of the book. If you are having a difficult time reading something, it's better to hit the audiobook than to
Hmm.
DNF it. So
Yeah.
many people DNF their damn books. And every time I go on,
DNF.
are you a Goodreads user?
Yes, I do use
So there are two
Goodreads,
types of pretentious men in this
but
world,
like,
Letterbox users and Goodreads users.
uh I
I'm a
don't update
Goodreads
it.
guy.
I don't update it all the time. I barely update it, but I do have Goodreads. Do I follow you? I don't follow
You
you on
don't follow me on
Goodreads.
Goodreads, but it's
I'm gonna
basically
follow you.
I don't have much on my account.
I don't have
I'm
much
more
on
of
my
a
account
viewer
either.
than a poster.
I barely
I use it
view.
to look at reviews, but basically a DNF is just did not finish.
Mm-hmm.
And so many people tag on if you're ever going through a Goodreads review,
Mm-hmm.
DNF just means they didn't finish it. And it's
Oh, I can't search for you.
my like goal
Okay,
in
whatever.
for 20
By Mateo Pipitone, you wrote a book.
I wrote quite a few books actually.
It has 0 ratings or reviews, but
Oh, it's
it's
okay.
El Fier Montecan. Yes, I
Yes.
wrote that. What is it about? Oh,
The trials and tribulations of Hinge dating.
this author has only written this book. Damn.
I need a brief
Can
moment.
you read
Hold
it?
up. Oh shit.
Oh, okay. He said we lost him because of his allergies. He's dying in the corner. Come back. We missed you.
Oh, my allergies are kicking
The
my
People's
ass.
Princess is back.
So if you were, should I make that my Instagram bio or is that
The People's
appropriation of any
Princess?
type? Yes,
I would love to do.
appropriation of any type of
I really
culture.
want to do that, but
Oh,
my Instagram's a little bit more like
professional.
real, and I'm like,
For real. Mine is just selfies and just like I
I
use it
post
like
a
Hinge
lot
again.
on my Instagram. I'm a very active user of social
So do
media.
you like what do you okay, think about it, right? If you didn't know me and my Instagram bio was People's Princess, what would you get out of that?
I think you're gay.
Right. So that's the thing, right? I want to put People's Princess in my bio, but I also don't want to come across as something that I'm not, you know. So
Well, why don't I put the People's Princess and you put the People's Prince?
who the fuck? Like People's Prince is so pretentious. Also, why are you choosing to make yourself the
Because
girl?
I want to do it.
I want to be
I
the
want to
People's
be the
Princess.
People's Princess.
Oh shit! Again, I said something similar in the last episode, but men used to fight in wars.
And now
Now
we're
they want to.
debating
They're
who
debating
wants
who's
to
the
be
People's Princess.
me. I really want to do that. I might
I feel
edit
like
my
I'm like
bio after
Staten
the
Island's princess. We were talking about Staten Island.
Staten Island's Princess. Put that in the.
We were talking. I might actually. I have no shame.
That's a
We were
really
talking
good.
about Staten
You guys
Island.
follow us on Instagram.
Follow our person. Oh,
They can.
our
We're linked. What? We're
our.
frozen.
I actually privated all my social media, my private ones
Oh,
recently.
you privated everything?
Privated them, cleared my bios
Oh.
for myself.
You privated your Instagram
My
too?
personal Instagram is now private. I realized that digital
No.
footprint is real. That's something that I realized recently that I had no idea. And
I wonder why you realized that.
a family member of mine has
Oh, okay.
found my like all my social media. And it's funny because we forget that we have different versions of ourselves that we show
Hmm.
to different parts of
Yep.
ourselves. So like your aunt and your, maybe if you have like a grandma or something like that, you're not going to show her yourself like doing weird shit that you would put on social media for your friends to see. I put weird shit on social media, one because I'm shameless, but two because I know my
Yeah.
friends will see it. I don't think about like my
Mhm.
family.
I don't care about Instagram. It's more of about TikTok. Like
My
I have
TikTok is
2
crazy. Yeah, that's the
TikToks.
thing that got.
One of them I don't post anything on, but I'll repost and I'll
Mhm,
repost like crazy shit.
mhm.
Like you again, last episode said that you don't check my
I
TikTok.
actually, after that episode, went through your reposts.
How were they?
Horrendously boring. I'm so
No, they're
sorry.
so
It's
not.
gonna be worse.
They're so good.
Have you ever peeked at my reposts?
Yes.
Okay.
They're all sad and depressing.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is, Nikita?
We need to cheer up. That's why you look at my reposts and you see joy and
And
happiness.
I
It
hate
might
it.
not be what
I hate it.
I'm feeling, but it is a projection of myself that I want to put out into the universe. It's all really funny, except when you get to like like some like we hate New York City's congesting pricing. Fuck congesting pricing. It's like a video that's like shameless like that.
what do you think about the amount of sadness that I proudly present into the world? Because I've been feeling a tad insecure about it recently.
Hmm.
Um,
I think it's okay. I I don't know. I think this is like rooted back to like maybe how I was raised or whatever, but it was never like you should it's a bad thing, but like you shouldn't show your sadness.
oh
So I
hell
try
no.
to although I can feel it, I try to put out like only positive, you know? I can't
It's
think.
horrible for you.
Why? Because I still share those things on a smaller level, like
I
not publicly for like the world to see, but I'll share it like in smaller circles instead of like on Instagram,
yeah, I mean,
on
maybe
TikTok.
that's why I was asking. Maybe the
Also,
world shouldn't see it. I think the world sees too much of mine, honestly.
I
Maybe.
mean, well, your private TikTok is.
I'm not talking about my TikTok. I'm talking about the way I carry myself as a person. So, like, something about me
Hmm.
is that I find myself hanging out with a lot of cheerful people lately, or being around a lot of cheerful
Hmm.
people, and they make me feel like the Grinch. Because I'm like, oh, you guys are having so much fun just talking about la 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 la.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here thinking about like the Great Depression. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I want to talk about the Great Depression, but it's like, I know if I bring it up, the mood is going to die.
Hmm.
And something I'm dealing with is like, how do you, at what point is it me? You know what I mean? Because
No.
I find a hard time connecting with people because of the things I want to talk
Yeah.
about are depressing as fuck.
I
Nobody wants that in their life. So it's like, do I
I do want to. Hmm.
do I mold myself into somebody who
Yeah.
could just be a little bit more cheerful and fun?
Hmm.
Or do I let it be and just
Yeah.
I don't have to be all chipper. I'm just
Yeah.
not a very high energy person. It
Yeah.
might sound like a surprise, but like I
Hmm.
really most of the time I'm not.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what do you do with that? You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm also very much not a high energy person,
Mm,
but I think like it depends on like the spaces that you're in. Like I'll try to
yeah.
remain positive in 90% of spaces that I'm in. But
Hmm.
then like with like the world isn't all positive, and the spaces where I bring in that maybe sadness or negativity, or like what we perceive as negativity would be in smaller circumstance, like
Yeah.
smaller circles. Um, like when me and you talk, it's like I won't bring that same energy to everyone
Hmm.
because everyone is experiencing that on their own level.
Yeah.
So it's like there's no point to keep bringing it up.
Hmm.
But in smaller circumstance, like in smaller circles,
Yeah.
like yes, absolutely. It's the same thing. Like I'm working on a show right now, and things go well, and then things don't. But people only need to hear about things that go well. You know,
Yeah.
The rest can be discussed in a private
Right.
meeting with individuals. So that's just how I approach it, like worldwide.
I guess that's fair. I would rephrase it. I would say my difficulty isn't in not being negative, it's in not being able to match people's high energy.
Oh, I could never match anyone's high
I
energy.
don't know if I'm ever being negative, but if you're ever just sitting down with people and they're just having the time of their life, like being vocal and singing and having fun, I'm kind of just the one who found a corner. You ever see that
Oh, I
meme
saw. Yeah.
when the function has a corner to hide in?
Yes.
Like
I do the same
I
thing.
just if I could find a corner to hide in, and it's like one of those things. When I was younger, I used to pride myself on being, you know, you've known me for long enough. I used to always try to make myself the center of noise,
Hmm.
which isn't good, but it worked for a time. And now I'm just like, I can't do it anymore. I'm not gonna try to be all like loud. I don't know. I sound like Jaden Pinkett Smith in that one interview where he's like, guys, can we talk about no, the
I.
economic? I don't mean to sound like that, but like I sometimes I feel like people see me as a mood killer because I can't
Mhm.
resonate with their high energy as our camera freezes.
Oh, why does our camera keep doing that? Like we're recording offline. We're not like I don't know. What were you talking about before? I I
High
I
energy
I
and low
mean
energy.
I agree with you. I feel like I'm never high energy,
Mhm.
and I don't know how to fix that. But it's also like one of those things.
Do
It's
you
like
need to fix it?
if everyone
Like,
is high energy, then nothing like the world
stops.
like everyone's just too much.
Yeah.
You need those people to like bring you down. It's like for example, like if you're hanging out with your friends publicly, you need that one person. Sometimes it's like maybe don't go up to that guy and yell at him. It's
Which is
like
always me for the last couple years. I'm always like, wait, 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 wait.
even though we also do sometimes just do that.
Sometimes, yeah, I guess it's about fitting roles and who
Yeah.
you're with.
I think it's like when me and you were together,
Hmm.
it don't matter
Because
because we
we're
know how to
with a
control
shared
each
brain
other.
cell of thinking about our surroundings.
And we know like what's like the limits for either person, sort of sometimes.
I'm gonna tell a quick story if you
Okay.
don't mind. And there was a time where we were in a park near our Staten Island, Willowbrook Park
Oh,
in Staten
okay.
Island, and we got a little rowdy. We
Okay.
made decisions we shouldn't make. That's how I
Okay.
got the scar on my arm. I was
Is
playing
this
like
Will
whatever
was
Willowbrook
this
Park.
Willowbrook? No, that scar was not Willowbrook.
The same. We were not
Oh, it
in
might have been
Willowbrook,
the
but it was the
same
same
day.
day.
Yes,
But
okay.
anyway, too much to drink, whatever. And and realistically,
Yeah.
there was this family in the bathroom at Willowbrook Park, and Nikita had also he shared the same predicament that I did, and he wanted to take the door stopper out of the bathroom and just like close the door on this family. And the father just looked really like an angry man. And I was like, I don't know if he could even tell, right?
Hmm.
Because we were just both so whatever. And this was a long time
I
ago.
do remember this though.
And I was so calm, but sometimes you just need one person. And I said, Nikita, don't take the door stopper out. Don't. Please don't take the damn door. And he didn't.
Even though technically, like,
It wasn't a big
it,
deal. But
but
it's just one of those
I
things where
meant
it's
like
like,
also technically like the right thing to do, I guess, might have been to take out the door stopper because no, because it there was a family using like the bathroom, and they
okay,
should
yeah,
like
it depends on how you look
like
at it.
they should have locked the door, but they didn't.
Right.
We don't know their reasoning for not locking the door, but they didn't.
Yeah.
And someone else easily could have unknowingly walked into this family using the bathroom, you know?
Right. Okay. Yeah. To be fair, though, the point being told is like you still have to have a level of logical
Understand? Yeah.
reasoning while you're having fun. So I guess it makes sense to have like that one person that's just like on the
Hmm.
on the
Yeah.
the low a little bit.
Like there was this one time, um, just gonna go into random stories. Um, we used to take the ferry a lot. Um,
Lowest point of my life.
but one of the funnest moments on the ferry was when we were getting low-key chased by
Oh,
ferry police.
that was horrible.
Um, because we were putting up posters with our faces on
Yeah.
them.
Now, in hindsight, do you think I was right before you tell us? Do you think I was right or wrong with that last bit of judgment?
I thought you were wrong. I don't think it mattered.
Okay, wait, tell it, and then we'll see.
But basically, we were putting posters up, and we saw that they were clearly taking them down, and we're not having fun with it. And
Yeah.
I see that there was this one area that if we slide a poster into this thing, they would not be able to take it out, right? And they were looking, and they were like not like questioning anyone. Like we weren't sure what was happening because we weren't interacting with them. We didn't go up and speak to them because our faces are on this poster and it's taken in the ferry. The picture on the poster was taken in the ferry, so it's like, um,
A little too close to home.
yeah. So we were just like, okay, we stopped putting them up for a little bit, and I was like, I really want to put this one last poster in this thing because I think it would be so funny to just not like they can't take it out anymore. And Mateo's like, no, no, like you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. Like they're coming for you. And I was like, worst case, we tell them we didn't see that they took down the posters, right?
Right.
Because theoretically, right, if we were to continue putting up the posters, we wouldn't retrace our steps back to the original posters we put up,
Right.
you know? So I was just, and then he got upset with me, but I ended up doing it, and it
But
ended
you
up
ended
being
up putting it
funny.
in that spot.
I put it in the folder. That's what I circled back around and
Oh
doing.
God. And then they ended up getting it out of there anyway.
And
But
then we walked out, and it was fine, and we never encountered any issues. We've been on the ferry since. Like, I'm going on the ferry today. I'll be fine.
oh God. But
We'll
okay.
recap after the if I die on the ferry. You'll see. No episode 6.
So my logic was after we started taking these, we put these signs up. They started taking them down. They got the whole Department of Transportation team together. There were
The whole
10 of them.
Department of
They
Transportation on our
started
heads.
walking around like an Arkham Asylum scene, like all of them with their damn vests, looking
It was
around,
like a
holding.
video game where it was
Yeah,
like
it's like an Assassin's Creed game. And I was like, Nikita, if they're getting the whole Department of Transportation together to start taking these posters down, I potentially see who's putting them up. Maybe, just maybe, stop fucking putting them up. And he starts staring at this damn folder that he wants to put it in. I'm like, bro, enough is enough. I gotta tell you when enough is enough. It turns out maybe I'm just a naysayer because it was fine.
it was fine. We ended
But
up surviving. In fact, thriving.
are you thriving, Nikita?
Oh,
Is anybody thriving? Are y'all thriving? Nobody's thriving.
is
Our
it?
fucking camera ain't thriving.
Why?
I don't know.
It's freezing more and more every episode. The other thing I had on my list was hustle culture.
Hustle culture.
Yes.
Why now? Wait, what do you associate me with hustle culture?
No, I just wrote the question mark
Mhm.
culture question mark. Um, I also don't know exactly how it's defined, right?
Okay.
But I feel like um I don't know, I feel like we both try, and then there's other people around us that we know that
Put no effort and
either
succeed.
put no effort and then succeed. I don't know.
Or succeed
Or succeed and not
without even seeing
like
the results. Yeah. So
yeah, and
I
like
have
a
a lot to
lot of things. So that's why I was like, let me just put this like I literally wrote hustle culture question mark on my in my notes app to bring to the table
I
today.
was talking to a friend of ours about this last night. Um, about so my job, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, sucks. You need to blow this damn podcast up because my ass gonna be broke real soon. And I thought about it, and my friend was like, "Why are you so
Be careful.
afraid of losing your job or like of your job not paying?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're out. Like, why do you always need to be working? Because I'm also a college student, and I like to work. You know what I'm saying? I think work gives you freedom. I think it gives you a lot of things. There's been a lot of times in my life where I've been on like low key an unemployed loser. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Hmm.
Not really, because I was like 16 the last time I wasn't working, but like 15 or 16. And like a lot of, at that age, what do you want from me? But like a lot of it with this hustle culture is an internal monologue of problems you give yourself. And I hate to say it, but I think it's the desire to be loved. I'm not gonna lie right now. I think a lot of people work because they think it makes them more desirable or more lovable, or they do these things not even because they have to. Because like all these quote unquote hustle culture people don't need to be doing it. Like the
Yeah.
people who actually need to be working and doing things to survive
Never are the ones
never
who do.
mention it or complain about it. They just have a little job and they're fine.
Yeah.
Or two jobs. They do what they need to do. People who are involved in the specific hustle culture, I think, are doing it to make themselves marketable. And when my friend asked me, "Why are you so afraid of not working for like a month until you find
Hmm.
something better?" I was like, "Great question." It's
Well,
because there's no.
the thing that work provides you now
Mhm,
is a sense of stability, you know?
mhm,
That's the thing of like even in the small like school is stable to an extent. Like the thing is you like you can fail like your class. It's like
mhm.
school is not necessarily guaranteed. Versus
Neither is work.
if you put in the same effort into work,
Mhm.
it should be guaranteed.
Not always.
Well, in your case, I guess it's
I've
like
had so many like odd like little things that I've done. The jobs I've worked in my life have not been that secure. I'm a good employee. I'm a good worker.
yeah,
I just
but
find
and
myself in situations
okay,
where
maybe we shouldn't do this.
it's not been. It's okay though.
It's okay. It's not Papa, it's Eddie. Oh no.
It's not but they go.
What?
I don't know. But
Okay.
I found myself in a lot. You could put all these effort into stupid jobs sometimes because the hustle. You know what I mean? And we're
Hmm.
like trying to do things, and then it just backfires. Like you'll be working for $16 an hour behind a register. They start asking you to do mad things. I think part-time job culture is also horrible. I think it's
Hmm.
horrible because they can't get adults to do those jobs because a lot of adults are out of college doing other things, and
Like you shouldn't be working a $16 job for the rest of your life, you know? So
if you have to, you have to. But then it shouldn't be a $16 job.
yeah,
Minimum wage should go up, but
that's a whole different
that's a
thing.
whole different
But
thing.
we could talk about it. Why
I
not?
mean,
It's our show, bro.
yeah, but I mean, the thing about
We're gonna censor ourselves on
I
our
think
show.
hustle culture has gotten so far that the idea of self-improvement. I saw a TikTok this morning
Hmm.
that's like self-improvement is not going out there and taking ice baths and doing all
Yeah.
this stupid shit. Ice baths,
Don't fuck
the
with the
quote
ice
unquote
bath.
grind, saving for your second BMW from 1994 that doesn't even work. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And perfect example is I knew a lot of guys that would this specific I don't know if this is just a Staten Island thing. I don't think it is. That damn white BMW
Yeah.
from 1997. Just because you work two jobs, three jobs, and you got your first like
Okay.
crappy car
Yeah.
that like barely works, I think a lot of it's just symbolic of like marketing yourself, all this hustle shit. But I've
Yeah.
been thinking about it a lot. Like hustling and actual self-improvement would be to say, I could lose everything, um, and I'll be okay. I'll
Hmm.
figure it out. I love myself anyway. I have a support system. I think the whole idea of like male um self-improvement has gotten so fucked in the last couple of years because it's been about make yourself better so that people can love you.
Hmm.
You don't
Which
even
is
know, and
not
that's
how.
circling around in media so much. Like, you should be this type of man. She wouldn't have cheated on you if you were this.
Yeah.
She wouldn't have dated that guy instead if you were this. Your
It's not
parents,
necessarily
you're,
always
of
like.
course, it's not true, but that's the thing
Yeah.
that gets floating around the media. And I'm like, I realize it does seep into your subconscious when you don't have those things. You're like, oh. maybe my life would be better if I started working this job instead of this job or started
Yeah.
doing this. That's so fucking horrendously negative. It's not even funny. If you really think about it, it's the
It's horrible for you.
opposite of
It's
self-improvement. So I'm trying to grapple with that actually. Of like, I don't care what I have going for me because I don't need to explain myself to anybody. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
No, I agree. I think it's all like what you make of it. So it's like if that's some people need a job to keep themselves like in
sheltered
line,
and fed
you
and
know?
yeah. Oh,
But
for
also
sure.
just like in like removing the fact that some people need it as a necessity. I'm just talking about like in
Well,
general. Like
yeah, of
some people
course.
need it to like physically like I am not stable without something stable in my life.
Hmm.
You know, a lot of people use a job to anchor themselves to reality. You know, we were talking about anchors
Yeah.
to
No,
reality
I'm the same way.
before. But
But
that's
I'm
not,
coming to terms with the fact that it's not a great way to anchor yourself to reality. That's
yeah. I I think it's good depending on what you do. You know, you
mm,
can't like your anchor can't be also your lifeline. That's the thing, you
yeah,
know? And so you can use it to anchor yourself to reality, but it can't be your lifeline, you know?
right.
Like
That's a really good
if
way of
you're on a
putting it. I
boat,
love that.
right? It can't and like it's windy. You can throw down an anchor, but the anchor if the anchor snaps,
You're done.
right?
Yeah,
You're still fucked. You still need another thing to hold
right.
the boat, you know?
Well, it's band-aids on I can't speak. Band-aids on bullet holes.
Yeah.
Um, and I think like that's something I've been doing OD. The
Mhm.
Staten Island White Boy Swag came out. I've been doing OD. Yeah. Something I've been doing OD in my life for the last couple years is like, how can I make myself more marketable
Mhm.
by working, by
But
saving?
marketable to who?
That's
Like,
the thing. It's screaming into the void, which is how we opened this episode.
yeah.
It's just like a good thing to do is just that's what this hustle culture is. It's screaming into the void for sake of self-fulfillment.
Mhm.
I'm not saying I struggle with it the way that like most people do, because I think to admit that it's not good
Yeah.
is to already be clear of it.
Mhm.
I think so many young men are like, um, and I guess women too. They're so into this like let me work, 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 work. Like we knew so many people that were just like so obsessed with like the hustle growing up.
Mhm.
Like, did you have a childhood? I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's like these are also people that came from like suburban South Staten Island. Like,
Yeah, who
bro,
didn't
you're not
need
from like you ain't like that. You know what I
yeah,
mean? They're
you
like,
don't need it to
you
survive. You're
don't need
doing
it.
it for I don't even know
An
why.
image, an aesthetic, to
Yeah,
be marketable, to be yeah,
which is not
the point.
right,
I
you know.
know.
I do think that now is the perfect time to work because it sets up a foundation for the future though. That's the
Yeah, it
thing.
helps you a lot.
I think um when you are much younger, it's different, but at this point, like in your like probably
College years.
like yeah, college years, maybe like a little bit past that, it's actually really important to work. I think it's even if you're like going away for college or whatever, I think people still need it because number one, like we like have like you've run into this issue was that like when you were applying to jobs they were like
Mhm.
you need 6 years of experience and
Yes, yeah.
it's like bro you're selling like you're behind the register
Right.
like what do you need 6 years of sales experience to make $16 an hour behind a register like get the fuck out of here
Yeah. I mean,
um and then on top of that it's also like allows you to like right now your expenses are lower because you're not like necessarily paying for everything so you could save a lot more money you know like so I get it makes sense to work now.
I'm pro working. I think you should work, but I'm not pro make it your
Yeah.
something actually one of my bosses told me, great advice that she gave me was don't make your work ethic and
Hmm.
the amount of work you do, or if you work, don't work, whatever it is, do not attach that to your self-value.
Yeah.
Really important. The other thing too is like, I mean, we have friends that have been unemployed their whole life,
Yes.
which is awesome. I wish, but
Do you
no,
exactly
thank God I've had the experiences I've had and the opportunities that I've had. But like,
it helps you learn a lot about yourself
but
too
I'm
like
not putting anybody who's never worked in their life down because I'm sure they've had other things to do. But like,
some
I could
people
tell when for some people, it doesn't affect everybody, but for some friends that I've had, is my sock showing? Yeah, you could see my feet, right?
what's a
Oh, okay, fine.
sock
Oh, this is
every time Mateo has
I was in his house once with an Edgar Allan Poe sock.
they're really cool like I fuck with the socks but he doesn't fuck with them he like hides them.
Today I have Charles Dickens socks on.
Charles Dick, bro, show.
You want
Not me.
feet
Okay,
reveal?
you
Oh, you can I show
feet
this on
reveal.
camera?
Show
Feet
me.
reveal.
Show
Oh, I
me.
just put them on the camera.
Oh.
That's a Charles Dickens socks.
Oh, I fucking love it.
Yeah, I lost my virginity in pizza socks.
You're who?
Um, what?
You're
No,
who?
I made a joke. I said I lost my virginity in pizza socks.
Oh,
I have
okay.
pizza socks. Um, I didn't actually, but one of the first times in my life that like I had like intimate, I was like 15, 16.
Relations was with pizza
Intimate
socks.
relationships, it was with pizza socks on, and it's been a trend in my life. I don't take my socks off.
Are the pizza socks your lucky charm?
I have the pizza socks.
Are they your like?
Numerous different people have been exposed to the pizza socks in that context, and I'm just like, I'm torn between this poor woman, she'll hate me, or she thinks it's so funny that I have pizza socks on right now. I don't
I
know if
think
it
it's
kills them. Does
hilarious,
it
and I
kill it?
think if
And
it's
it's never killed the mood once. So I have to say, wear them damn pizza socks. They work.
yeah, for any incels that need
For
help,
any incels, I've never touched a woman. Um,
pizza socks.
okay, yeah. So if a lot of times, like when you're out with your friends, they always expect you to pay. The people who expect you to pay are the people who have never worked a day in their life, and
Oh,
that's the
that's
type of
horrible,
thing
and we know a bunch of people
I
like that
can't
too.
stand because they don't work, bro. Get a job, clock the fuck in,
Get a
please.
job, boy.
Good
Damn.
job, boy. Damn, bro. Clock in. It's
For all
crazy.
who don't know, where is that from?
That's
Get a
from
job,
which
boy.
spring me
Damn.
which oh god.
Hair. It's
Hair.
from Hair, the
Yes.
musical. Um, there's like a scene where like the main character is being talked down to by like a bunch of versions of his
Hold
like
on.
parents and like society. So does represent a lot of things. And one of the lines is "Get a
Get a
job,
job, boy.
boy."
Damn.
Damn. And the guy who delivered the line, do we call him out by name?
Patrick. Our dear
Yeah.
boy Patrick said,
Our
"Get
dear
a
boy
job, boy." Damn.
Patrick goes, "Get a job, boy." Damn. With no monotone,
It's
with
just this mon just no
monotone ass,
emotion.
no emotion, worst acting ever. Like, shout out Patty if you're watching. He looks like like Patrick Star, low key a little bit. If you're
Oh.
envisioning something, it's Patrick Star, but
Hold on.
tall, fallopian tube 14, 13. What was it?
Isn't fallopian isn't that a part of a woman's like
Yes.
why are
I
you
don't know what is it called? What the fuck is the Bible verse?
Philippine.
Filipinas.
Filipinas. Oh, oh, and
Filipinas
then like a
14.
lightning strikes down on us because we mispronounced the Bible verse. That's another thing with hustle.
Another
Yeah,
thing with hustle
why
culture,
can't I speak
the
hustle
Bible.
culture?
Like
Yeah, what is it with these people that just put like religion as part? Like I've seen so many men be like, "Yo, I'm not gonna,"
Falapian
like they're
to
like, "Yo, bro, like
74.
low key, I'm gonna stop talking to girls. I'm gonna lock in and read my Bible and shit. I'm gonna do my." Oh, that sounds racial. I'm sorry. I'm not doing an impression of any race. I'm just talking about. It came out wrong. I was trying to do an impression of your average incel that like they say they're gonna stop talking to girls, start reading their Bible, start working 7 jobs that they make $2 an hour at. Like I don't understand this whole culture. And he's on his phone.
My bad. I was checking our time. 44 minutes and 19 seconds.
There's no time like the present day. There's no
He
time.
says as he yearns for the past in every
I so
episode we
so
have.
I actually don't yearn for the past anymore. A
In
I
the
had a
span of 2 weeks.
realization last night. I don't want to talk about people. Let me see.
But
Don't do anything that would incite like
yes.
an expose on
No, I just
humans.
said but
And I
of
was
humans.
sitting and I was thinking about it while I was conversing with these people, and I was like, my priorities in the past were so fucked. Like, in terms of nostalgia and like yearning, I have spent years yearning for some evil, demonic women. You know what I mean? Evil, demonic women I have spent some time yearning for. And the more time I spend like thinking about like people that are not real in my life
A
anymore,
lot of people are
I
evil.
realize, bro, I have wasted years on people that couldn't even check in and ask how I'm doing. Like you forget,
Yeah,
you forget that you're actually so like in dating, I think a lot of people forget that they're supposed to be loved too. It sounds so sad,
absolutely.
but I'm like, oh, I like this one. Does she actually care about you? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like a lot of my time has been spent on people. Like I think when you're young, you don't even know what it's supposed to feel like because so many people suck and don't know how to love other people that you forget that like you were yearning for like an approximation of I don't know. I was just thinking about that yesterday.
hmm. No, I get what you mean. I mean, we've cut a lot of people
Oh,
from our life
yeah.
recently within the last like 4 months.
Oh, yeah.
We've just like cleansed ourselves of like
Society kind of is a
of
little
evil, like
yeah.
because so many people suck and don't like adequately.
Because it's so easy to be a good person. Like, I don't understand. Like I send people like I'm very big on a text of asking people, "How are you today?"
Yeah.
just the simple
every
thing,
day, just like
"How are you today?" He doesn't really get those because 'cause we're in a constant monologue
because we
anyway,
always
so I
talk.
know how he is
So
doing
it's
today,
like
and, like, it's already established
because
that
I'll just like voice memo like
you could just
this
tell
bitch
me
on
how
the
you are.
train like yelled
Piss
at
me off,
me,
yeah, and
like
but where people that I'm not as tight with, I'll send them, "How are you? Are you okay? Like, is everything" Bro, they'll start talking about how okay they are or how not okay they are, which is great, that's why I asked. But I think about how few people
actually do the check-in
return the
back.
sentiment.
Yep.
It's a conversation, and when you learn a new language, Italian, I'm not very good at, but when you teach Italian to somebody or any language, you teach the word "e tu" afterwards. So, "How are you?" Your response is "Bene e tu." That is how every basic level language class teaches you
Hmm.
how to converse, because it's not just bene or male, it's I just butchered that, but it's literally the A2 is taught as a why is our fucking camera frozen?
It keeps freezing,
Always.
and I don't know
And
why.
how are we gonna clip our shit if it's fucking not there? I'm repeating that now because I want to put it online. When you teach a language, it's you respond to how are you with bene A2. That's how they teach
Yeah.
you. So if you think about it, it's rooted in like fundamental language to ask people how they're doing.
Yes.
So many people that I know just give you the bene
Hmm.
and then an essay as to why they're doing good or bad.
Yeah.
And then I'm sitting here like half dead on my couch somewhere, and I'm like, not that I needed you to ask how I was doing, but if I take the time to listen to you, why don't you listen to me?
Hmm.
That is
Um,
99% of the relationships I have in my
I'm
life.
gonna put this person on blast. I'm not gonna mention them by name, but if they watch this, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm gonna put them on blast because I told them this to their face several times,
Oh
so
God.
it don't matter. But we have this one friend who texted us today after literally like 4.5 weeks of this
We
person
love you, but come
being
on,
home.
man.
And me telling this person every single time I see this person or talk to him about this topic, it's always like, why don't we all, me, this person, and Mateo hang out? And time and time and time again, it's been ignored. And it's just like, what? Like, and finally, today, with like 4 days, 5 days left of like humanity in him, decides to hit up a group chat. Insane. Insane. Like,
Like, I don't know. The simple principle of it too is it's the same thing I said, like what he's trying to explain. It's making plans too. I'm always the person that's like, yo, what's the word? What are we doing? And the response is, I don't know.
maybe.
Maybe. But
Fuck
then when
the
they
word maybe.
want
Hot
something,
take. Fuck the word maybe. The word maybe sucks. I fucking hate it. Never use the word maybe to me. You're getting shot.
we'll see. If anybody ever says we'll see, also go fuck yourself because I already look at
Only
like
I
a
could say we'll see. Or maybe. And you.
yeah.
That's it.
But
We're
if
the
I
only
say it's
two.
for a foul, like okay, because when people say we'll see to me about plans, I already planned the day. I planned what I was gonna wear. I probably already did my hair 2 weeks in advance. Like you know what I mean? Like I was already locked in for these plans. For you to say we'll see, I hate spontaneity. That's something I really don't like. Um,
Yeah. I
I
like structure.
I like structure. Tell me when we're chilling. Like don't make me do all the work and planning things. I find a lot of things too is a lot of people don't know how to plan things. They're kind of just wandering. And when me and
Hmm.
Nikita are good at making plans,
Yeah.
going places, how to get to the place.
But what we do when we make plans is that we'll schedule a time block, but not necessarily what we do in that time block,
Right.
which means that we still allow for spontaneity to happen,
Yes.
but it's a controlled spontaneity
Right.
instead of just like whatever the fuck. And that allows both areas of like we are satisfied in w- when it's happening and
Yeah.
like maybe a little bit of what, but then we still allow room to breathe and like, because the people that also have everything like locked down, that's also not the best thing,
It's
you
boring.
know?
It could be kind of boring sometimes when it's
Yeah.
too much. Yeah.
So we actually do a really good job of like we're meeting at noon. We're gonna spend till 7 p.m. Let's do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's important because it allows you to fulfill all parts of yourself.
Yeah. That's perfect. The other thing too is when you do
Yeah,
when you
for Mateo's basically like maybe.
no, yeah for me is yeah. I think
But
something
thank God
something
at
I
least he doesn't say like yeah period. It's a yeah something. But like yeah for Mateo's just like okay.
Yeah. Well, something I'm learning is that you don't yes and no are complete sentences. And
Oh,
I
absolutely.
I used to be the type of person where it's like, because when you give so often to people in terms of like energy or conversational energy or like just life energy, you forget that you're supposed to get something in return. This is what I was getting at before. Like you literally forget that you're supposed to get love receiving back. I realized you could back me up on this. I
Hmm.
do so much work in like checking in on and trying to curate plans and make sure
Yeah.
everybody gets involved and everybody's heard. And I do so much in just like asking people how they are just to get like one word responses or
And
like
that's
bullshit
so
like
fucked
that.
up.
And it's so annoying because I'm so sick of spending all my energy on people
Hmm.
and when they can't even ask me how I am or like do the same in return. It gets really fucking old. So something I'm realizing is to take a step back and wait to see what like love there is. And not to take he just commented on the word yeah, and I turned it into like fucking Shakespeare's 90,000th sonnet. But like it's true. Sometimes you can just say yes to things, say no to things, let people come to you. Look at what's around you. Like that's something that
Hmm.
I'm absolutely learning.
Like speaking of this person, just FYI, I'm putting him on
We
blast. I
we
don't
do
care.
love you,
We
by the
do
way.
love you, but like, come on. Like when me and you have hung out, knowing that this person was free, we've purposely, for the fact of like you need to do the reaching out, and it can't always be
Yeah, I'm
us,
so just
have
tired of it being
not
me.
have made the conscious decision to not reach out, to enforce that idea of like we can't be the ones providing everything, or we will reach out and not hear anything or whatever,
Hmm.
but we've made this thing of like we can't always be asking someone for something, so they have to do some work on their end, you
Yes,
know. And
facts.
we've kept that up, like we
It's a
really like and then this other person who's not gonna watch this, but like um a female friend of ours, we've done the same thing. We
and I
you know
think that that worked.
and it
The
worked.
reciprocation ended up coming. When you take a
And it
step
ended
back,
up
people
coming
end up
back.
helping you out. Like,
We've explained that this is a necessity. We've explained this is important to both of us. And we took a step back and it came. It took a while,
and it
but it
worked
did
out. It
come.
really worked out. Yeah.
And it worked out. And it honestly worked out better than when we were like the ones reaching out and planning it, because it was something that they wanted to do,
Yeah.
versus like they were forced into these plans. And it kind of enforces the fact that like, yes, these people are your friends because they're doing it on their accord. And it's not like you screaming out into the void asking for
Yeah.
friendship from them, you know?
Yeah. Speaking of that term that we keep using that I really like, screaming into the void.
That's going to be part of the topic,
I
like
really
name of
it's
the
the name.
episode.
So something I've been doing for the past 6 months, and like, listen, college years are really hard.
Hmm.
The beginning, especially if you didn't go away or if you're just getting your classes done and working, like it's really hard. And to feel heard, you're gonna scream into the void
Yeah.
sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. Why else would two men sit down and record a podcast for you guys? Just you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
sometimes you just need to find that there's some consolation out there, right? And I didn't realize I was doing it, but
Yeah.
I not to be all too much here, but like sometimes you could get into such a like, is there no one out there? Am I the only one who puts effort? And you've had the same thing.
Yes.
That scary realization that you put more work into your life than anybody else or your connections or your relationships. And you're like, wow, I'm the only person reaching out. I need a hand. That corny Shawn Mendes song. Is there what in my whatever in my blood where he's
Yes.
complaining about like can
Needing.
somebody
Yes.
help me? And he's talking about just like I need somebody, like what the hell? But that feeling of just like, wow, why is it just me out here? Like I want to have a conversation about something human and it's
Yeah.
just like I can't find any outlet for that. And I was crashing out on people recently in my I've been crashing out on a lot of people,
Yeah.
but I was having a conversation with my dear brother who did nothing he did nothing wrong. It's just that not everybody when you're in that headspace where you are screaming into the void, a lot of times nothing's really going to satiate it because it's just like you're just a lot of it is fear.
Mhm.
But I've been talking to a lot of people about a lot of different things and just crashing out because like I find that you put output, and then a lot of times people don't know what to do with it. So, like, I'll share, like, I'm going through X, Y, and Z, and then, like, the receiving end will be like, "Damn, that's crazy."
And it's just like,
And it's like, but maybe they don't know it's not their job to know what to say. I don't need them to say anything, I just need to be heard
yeah.
sometimes. But that feeling of just, "Wait a minute, the reason why this lack of connection is happening is because I'm screaming into the void."
Hmm.
And no one really knows what to say because
Well,
it's just that feeling of like, am I alone? You know what I mean? So
I
I've just been crashing out with that fear recently of just like,
I hate that because honestly, the way I approach anything, and I mean, it's not necessarily a good thing. And I was told by multiple people, that like maybe what I should be doing is taking a step back and just listening. But I always like to
no,
approach is with the fact of like, I'm gonna try to fix a problem. Like, it's
Oh, that's a problem.
I was like, and it's not the best, but it is something else
Mhm.
that a lot of people also just don't try.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, yes, it's not, it can't be the circumstance always. And
Mhm.
you have to identify where it's a problem that needs fixing, or a problem that needs listening, or a problem that needs like compassion and like, let me share a similar
Yeah.
feeling back. But a lot of people don't try to do the fixing thing at all.
Or the opposite.
Um, I used to do the opposite a lot, but I've taken a step back and have been like, no,
Mhm.
sometimes you just need to listen, or
Yeah.
try to like be empathetic by sharing your own thing. But the number one problem is that you can't be apathetic.
That's the thing. There's a lot of apathy, I think.
I love the word
I
apathetic,
really love it. Apathetic, empathetic. It's
but
beautiful.
it's such a mean word. Like, if anyone ever was to call me apathetic, that would be horrible. They're getting
Ap-
shot.
I hate it, but I also think sometimes
If you were called apathetic, would you not crash out?
it's a word that needs to be
Mateo?
Matteo. He made me like Greek. I'm Italian. He made me Greek. But
Mateo,
yes,
you're apathetic.
in some aspects of my life, yeah. I think some of us are apathetic. You cannot possibly care about all the things that you should care about at once. There's so many things to care about that I'm gonna be so honest, like, and it's honest, damn.
No, I'm
God
checking. We
damn.
should be
God
wrapping up.
damn.
I'm checking. We should be wrapping up.
Okay.
We should be wrapping up.
Okay, we can recommend. But like, I think there's so many things that you could care about that you don't. I think a lot of people are apathetic towards certain things, and it because it's human to be apathetic towards. You cannot put all your energy in every place. Sometimes there's gonna be a little bit of apathy, and I think it's okay to call it out.
You
If
want me to
somebody said,
give you a
Mateo,
place that we're apathetic in? Where you want me to take it full circle and bring us back to where?
let's hear it.
Do you want me to?
Yeah,
We
bring
might have to just shut off the episode after I say it.
bring it on. Where are we
Bring it
apathetic?
on. Where are we apathetic?
Yes.
By sending each other messages of kids in Gaza.
You can't fucking say that. Ain't nobody getting a job after that. My digital footprint is fucked. I don't endorse that. Whoever future employer just saw this, I care about everybody so deeply. And
No. The thing is,
oh, the camera is frozen. It's over.
The thing is, we do care about everyone very, very deeply. That's not the.
It's a great example, actually.
It's
Not
a
to be-
really good example.
We said we were done with politics, but I want to say part of it is sometimes it's hard to care when you don't see things in front of you. I'm not saying apathy is good. That's the problem. You need to learn to care about things that happen around you. That's why I really admire these people that are so passionate about these global conflicts because you should care.
Yeah.
My mockery, the joke he just made is not knocking people. It's knocking
It's knocking
our
us.
American privileged lack of empathy for people because and that's our country as a whole. It's like really hard to fucking care when I think our tanks can only get so full. The goal should be to expand our tanks. However, the point of the end of this episode is some people need to expand their tanks for me. I'm tired of expanding my tanks
Some
for
people
everybody
just
else.
need to do better.
Just
You know, that
asking
one guy on
hard.
TikTok. Do better.
If your children come to you and they say they want to get a train ran on them by 6 dudes in a shack, tell them that it's okay. Do better.
We got the audio in this.
Parents, do better. Yeah,
I
exactly.
love that man. I don't know what the fuck his name is.
Billy Corgan. No, that's the musician. Billy Bisco.
Billy Visco. Yes,
Billy
Billy
Bisco.
Visco.
Do better.
Do
But
better.
honestly, I'm so I can't stress enough. I'm tired. My energy's being put out. Nobody giving anything back.
We're gonna close out this
We're gonna
episode.
close it out. I'm gonna
We're,
cry.
no. We're gonna close it out. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna do 3, 2, 1. Do better to close out the episode. 3, 2, 1.
Do better,
Better.
parents.
No, we didn't even do it. We didn't sing.
You know
Let's
what?
try it again. Let's try it again. 3, 2, 1.
Do better.
Oh, is it 2 hits and then do better?
Do better. Oh, is
Okay,
it?
I was gonna do 2 hits and then do better. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Do better, parents. Oh, there's supposed to be. All right.
Okay.
You know what? At this point,
Goodbye.
oh, I turned my mic off. Goodbye, y'all. I love you
Goodbye.
dearly.
Goodbye. We love you. See y'all next week.
Digital kisses.
Mwah.